Are you still you without your memories? Now, this is a question I've been thinking about for quite a while now, and honestly, the more I think about it, the less it makes sense. So, hear me out. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. Every memory you've ever had is gone. Would you still be you? In the beginning, I thought this answer was pretty simple. Yeah, of course you'd still be you. I mean, you'd still look the same, you'd have the same body, same brain, same DNA. So, obviously, you're still you, right? Well, that's what I thought. Then I started thinking about what actually makes someone who they are. At first, I thought it was just memories, because memories are basically your whole life. They're why you love certain people. Without memories, you're kind of just starting over. So I thought, okay, memories must be what make you you. But then I realized something. If memories were the only things that made you who you are, then people with amnesia wouldn't be the same person anymore. But we still say that they are. So there goes my first idea. Just put a contradiction counter on the screen because I feel like this is going to happen a lot. So then I made a new theory. Maybe it's not just your memories, maybe it's also your brain, your body, and your personality. So all four of them together. That actually made a lot more sense to me. Until I started thinking more and more about that statement that I just said. Because your personality comes from experiences. Your experiences come from memories. So if you lose your memories, doesn't your personality change too? Yeah. This is where my brain started to hurt. Because every answer creates another question. Even your body doesn't really help. Think about yourself 5 years ago. You were probably shorter, your face looked different, you probably had a completely different haircut. Hopefully. But even though you've changed physically, you'd still say that you were you. So maybe your body isn't what defines you either. See what I mean? Every answer sounds right until you start to think about it a little bit more. That's why I'm so interested in this question. Not because there's one right answer, but because every answer seems to contradict one another. So let's pretend for a second that you did actually lose all of your memories. What actually changes? Well, quite a lot. Think about your best friend. Why are they your best friend? It's not because your brain randomly decided to like them. It's because of every conversation you've had, every joke, every memory, every time they've been there for you. Now imagine waking up tomorrow and not remembering any of that. They're standing right in front of you, but to you, they're just another stranger. That's weird to think about. Now think about your family. You'd understand what a family is, but would you actually love them the same way? Love isn't just a feeling that appears out of nowhere. It's built over years. Birthdays, late night conversations, road trips, vacations, anything like that. Thousands of little moments that slowly build a relationship. If all of those disappeared, would the love disappear too? I honestly don't know. Then I started thinking about fears. Let's say you're terrified of a dog because when you were little you were bit by one. If you forgot that memory, would you still be scared? Or would you walk straight up to one without even thinking twice? What about your dream job? Can it still be your dream job if you don't even remember wanting it? The more examples I thought of, the more it felt like memories are everywhere. They're in almost every decision we make without even realizing it. They're kind of like the operating system running in the background. You don't notice it until it's gone. So at this point, I was convinced. Memories have to be the thing that makes you you. But, contradiction counter number three. Because I found out something that completely messed with my theory. People don't even remember their lives accurately. Your brain changes memories all the time. Sometimes you completely forget things that actually happened. Sometimes you remember things differently from everyone else. And sometimes your brain just fills in the gaps without you even noticing. So if memories can change and can even be wrong, how can they be the one thing that defines who you are? Then I remembered something else. Do you remember learning how to walk? No. Do you remember learning your first words? Probably not. And I mean, if you can, that's pretty impressive. You've already forgotten thousands of memories, probably millions of little ones. But even after forgetting all of those, you're still you. So maybe losing memories doesn't automatically create a different person. Or maybe it depends on which memories you lose. Maybe forgetting what you had for breakfast changes nothing, but forgetting your entire childhood does. See? Another contradiction. At this point, I genuinely couldn't tell if I was getting closer to the answer or not. And somehow it only gets weirder. I thought I'd finally figured it out. Then I remembered something that completely destroyed everything I just said. What about identical twins? Think about it. They have almost the exact same DNA. They can look so similar that even their own families mix them up. But nobody thinks they're the same person, so clearly DNA isn't enough. Then I thought, maybe it's your personality. That sounds like a pretty good answer. If you're funny, you're you. If you're quiet, you're you. If you're confident, you're you. Simple. Except it's not, because your personality changes. Think back to when you were about 5 years old. You probably spoke to a lot of random kids that you'd never spoken to before, or random adults. I know I did. How wasn't I kidnapped when I was younger? Anyways, some people become way more confident after high school. Some people become quieter, kinder, more selfish. Your personality isn't frozen forever. It changes depending on what happens in your life. Which means if personality can change while you're still considered the same person, then personality can't be the answer either. I forgot which side I was on. Then I thought about habits. Now, the best example that I could think about to explain this was imagine someone losing all their memories, like what I've said in the beginning. Would they still know how to ride a bicycle? Sometimes, yes. There are people who can't remember learning a skill but can still do it. They don't remember practicing it, their body just knows. How weird is that? It's like your brain has different storage rooms. One room remembers facts, while the other remembers how to actually do things, which means you can't lose one without losing the other. So now I'm thinking, maybe memories aren't just one thing. Maybe there are different types of memories, and maybe some are more important than others. Then I realized something else. Every version of you that has ever existed is kind of gone. 5-year-old you, gone. 10-year-old you, gone. 15-year-old you, gone. Depending on how old you are, of course. Like, I'm 15, but soon that'll be gone too. Even the version of you from last year probably thought differently than you do now. But you'd still say all of those people were you. So, if you've already changed so much, how much can you change before you're not actually you? Now, examples like this I like to use quite frequently. Have you guys heard of the ship of Theseus? If you replace one plank on a wooden ship, it would still say the same ship. Replace another, still the same ship. Keep replacing planks one by one. Eventually, every single original plank is gone. Is it still the same ship? Or is it a completely different ship? That question has been argued for thousands of years, and I think people are kind of the same. We slowly replace parts of ourselves over time. New memories, new opinions, new friends, new fears, new goals. Eventually, almost everything about us has changed. Yet somehow, we introduce ourselves with the same name. Contradiction counted. I genuinely stopped counting. And that's when I realized maybe I've been asking the wrong question this whole time. Maybe the question was never, would you still be you without your memories? Maybe the better question is, what actually has to stay the same for you to still be you? Because no matter what answer I came up with, I could always find something that broke it. Body, that changes. Personality, that changes too. Memories, they fade, they get distorted, and sometimes they're completely lost. Even your beliefs change. 5 years ago, you probably had opinions that you'd laugh at today. So, if all of these things change, what doesn't? And Honestly, I don't know. I don't think there's one perfect answer. Maybe being you isn't about one thing at all. Maybe it's about all of those things changing together. Kind of like a movie. If you pause a movie halfway, it's completely different from the ending. Different characters, different emotions, a different story. But it's still the same movie. Maybe we're like that. We're consistently changing. We're never exactly the same person we were yesterday, but we don't become someone completely new either. We're just the next version of ourselves. Or maybe that's completely wrong. Maybe if you lose every memory you ever had, the old you is gone. Maybe a new person wakes up in the same body. I don't know. And that's probably why this question has been stuck with me for so long. I'm not trying to convince you that I'm right, because I don't even know if I am. I just want to share how my brain works to try and make sense of this. And if anything, it's probably confused me more. So now, I want to know what you think. If you woke up with every memory erased, would you still be you? And why? Because after thinking about this for way too long, I still can't come up with an answer. And now if you enjoyed that video, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss another video.